studying English at the University of Ilorin. Although he was tempted by the allure of law, he remained steadfast, encouraged by his teacher, Ross Chambers, to continue his passion for English and literature.
I went to university and studied English. You know the journey. I had options to do geography, I had options to do other things. But maybe I was attracted to English also because in my secondary school, my teachers' college, GT's Bini, we had excellent English teachers. Hilary Mason, for example, I would never forget her. British. She taught us impeccable English. I mean, our pronunciation was excellent because we were taught pronunciation. And these were one of the things that, probably, because you have to also think about your own psychology. And I felt this might be one of the reasons why I decided to choose English. But at a point, I wanted to go into law, most tell you, even my first degree. When they started law at the University of Ilorin, I was going to change from English to law. But my English teacher, an American, stopped me from doing it. He called me up. I was going to get him to sign my letter. His name was Chambers, Ross Chambers. I can't forget that name. Ross Chambers. He called me and said, Abdul Rashid. I said, yes. He said, don't ever change. If you want to do law, finish your English first. Focus on this English. You will even be a better lawyer if you stay with English. So once he said that to me, I just forgot about law. I didn't change again. Because he insisted that I was good in it. He gave me examples. He told me why he felt I would do much better in English. I remained and I finished my English. I was no longer interested in anything but to continue.
After earning his degree, Abdul Rashid ventured to the University of Alberta in Canada, where he completed his PhD. But it was more than just an academic pursuit. It was a journey of self-discovery that would shape his future contributions to Nigerian education.
I left University of Ilorin after finishing my master's degree to Canada, where I now did my PhD at the University of Alberta in Edmonton. That was a memorable opportunity for me, from coming from the multicultural background of Ilorin to the multilingual, multicultural background of Nigeria in terms of moving around. Because even in my schools, primary schools in Sokoto, for example, there were Igbos, there were Nopes. Many of them were still friends today. People from Bidda, remember it was Northwestern State, and all these were part of, so we say that Northwestern State at that time. So to now going to Edmonton, Alberta, which was truly a global community. Edmonton was the capital city. It's still the capital city of Alberta in Canada, but they had a lot of migration. As you know, North America, especially the United States and Canada, they are migration, countries. It's this migrant that actually form the majority of their population. So I came to a university where citizens were of Indian origin, of African origin, of Mexican origin, of Japanese origin, of all whatnot, And then I had a university that brought people from all over the world. University of Alberta was actually a truly global university with people from all over who are my classmates. In my class of about close to 100 maybe, or 80 or something, I was the only African. It's incredible. When I came, I was the only African in that class. Yet I had the Chinese, the Japanese. We became very close. We were very, very, very close. By the time I graduated, even before I graduated anyway, I had this position in the University of the United States, and I had to leave. And I know the feeling, of my colleagues. It was enormous, because while I was there, we did a lot of things together.
Armed with a wealth of knowledge and experience gained abroad, Abdul Rashid returned to Nigeria with a mission. As the pioneer Vice Chancellor of Kwara State University, he laid the foundation for a competitive institution that emphasized entrepreneurship and community development.
2009 when I came back, and I was made the Vice Chancellor of Kwara State University. And I was a pioneer because it was just a new place that was just being created. And I had the opportunity to recruit everybody else. I mean, once I was recruited, it was my duty to bring in all the staff. It was my duty to supervise the construction of the buildings. It was my duty to establish the university as a competitive university. And at that time, you know, I was conscious of the fact that there was University of Ilorin, which was huge and big and mighty. And it was a state university. And we had to be as good, if not better, than the University of Ilorin. And that was the way we started. We wanted something unique. There was a time when students that graduated had nothing to do, people were roaming the street. So from the word go in 2009, we started the Center for Entrepreneurship. You know, we insisted our students must create wealth, that their education is not just to be a teacher, not just to be a clerk or whatever, work in government or for government, but to actually create wealth even while they are on campus. So what we do in Kwara State University that time, which they still do, and what we do in University of Abuja now, was really from that beginning, you know, that my founding and my pioneering work at Kwara State University. So we had community development, in which our slogan then was the University of Community Development, in which we insisted that our university must make impact in the local community. The center will go around the places, rendering services to the entire community, not only Malete, but really most of the surrounding communities. So for 10 years, I was there busy helping to give shape and reality to that university. And I was happy that by the time I was leaving Kwara State University to University of Abuja, it was already a well-recognized university, not just in Nigeria, but globally.
On July 1, 2019, Abdul Rashid Na'Allah was appointed Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja. Over the next 5 years, he worked tirelessly to elevate the university's status, transforming it into a symbol of national pride.
Coming to Abuja, I had the same challenge. University of Abuja has been there for many years, but I came meeting it rather crawling, you know, in its kind of development. The campus was not anything to write home about, both the men and the men. You know, the academic people, they were active, but not as active as you would want in a global university. Remember, Abuja is a metropolitan. It is global. The whole world is in Abuja. So the university in Abuja must be a global university. It is its destiny. It must be a university that has enormous impact on Nigeria. That is its destiny. So I mobilized my people. The work we did at University of Abuja is a collective work. Every day, every head of department, every academic, we worked together.
Under Professor Na'Allah's leadership, the University of Abuja embarked on an ambitious transformation. Together with his team, he mobilized resources and talent to create a campus that was not just a place of learning, but a beacon of innovation and excellence.
Abuja is a metropolitan. It is global. The whole world is in Abuja. So the university in Abuja must be a global university. It is its destiny. It must be a university that has enormous impact on Nigeria. That is its destiny. So I mobilized my people. The work we did at University of Abuja is a collective work. Every day, every head of department, every academic, we worked together to say University of Abuja must take its destiny on its hand. So what have we done today? We've created a campus that we're all proud of. You know, we identify our structure, we created a brand, and the brand, you know, we're all proud of it.
The transformation was not just physical. The University of Abuja became a global hub of research and innovation. Grants poured in, enabling groundbreaking work in fields like railway engineering, aerospace, and tourism. Today, the university attracts students and faculty from around the world.
We develop academics. We encourage our staff to go around the world and compete. You know, they were competing for grants. We started from the first year realizing 300 million grant to my last year, 2023, December, because every December we celebrate grants and research. We had 3.5 billion in just last year alone. And this is continuing to grow. I know this year is going to be more than 5 billion. And so you now have a university in which people are working hard in the global space. We have now students who are from around the world. We admitted. We have developed more hostels in the university. We have recruited staff from across the world. We have Japanese, we have American, we have, Iranian, we have China. We are doing courses even in foreign languages that are so rooted, in the way that University of Abuja must be known. So what I see as my own contribution to that university is to make sure that university claims its destiny. And I tell you today, University of Abuja is a force to be reckoned with. We work with the industry very closely. Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry is now our closest friend. We are always thinking together. Our students learn from all of us. Almost all agencies of government, they are always with us now. We are talking about how do we work together. We created new programs at University of Abuja. We now have aeronautical engineering. We now have railway engineering. We now have agriculture engineering. We now have tourism and hospitality. I can go on and on and on. Pharmacy, which we didn't have before. Environmental science, we now have it. We now have communication. Some of you in the media can come to University of Abuja to take degrees. We have film, we have public relations, we have something development. About 7 programs or 8 just in mass communication alone, different degree programs. It's enormous, some of the things we've done. So if you ask me that what has happened now in Abuja, I say Abuja is the university today in Nigeria that is in the forefront. Forget about all the old universities. I know some people say great Ife, great AU, great ABU. When I say great,
the introduction of Nigeria's first sexual harassment policy at the university set a national precedent, ensuring a safe and respectful environment for all.
Before, sexual harassment was like everywhere. People exploited the students. That is why we have now developed sexual harassment policy. We've had to expel some academic because of sexual harassment, dismissed from the university. And the students saw all of that. So they were part of the process. And the sexual harassment policy that we developed, the first in Nigeria to do it, which we launched, it's going to be on our website. We have actually printed and published many of them. We want to review them in the newspapers, both locally and outside of the campus, because we want students to be aware that they cannot keep quiet when people are exploiting them. And our goal is to make sure that they learn in a very free environment. We have created a center for counseling and career services. And our goal in this center is to make sure they give confidential service to students who have issues. It may be even on sexual harassment, but it may be on psychological matters, because our goal is to help them to be able to finish their program. We are not admitting them just to fail and drop out. We don't want anybody to drop out. That's why we have created that center, for example. But there are so many other centers we have created across the university that are very relevant to making the life of our students better.
Colleagues and friends share their thoughts on Professor Noala's leadership and contributions.
Whoever visited the University of Abuja, maybe since 2019, and goes to University of Abuja today, will see the handwork of Professor Abrashina Ali. He's been able to uplift the university to greater heights in so many ways. He has utilized the resources available within his reach to do as much as he had wanted, in line with his own vision and mission.
I know him, Abuja, to be a disciplined person, somebody that is passionate about English spoken. So when later in life I learned that he has graduated in linguistics, I'm not surprised, because even then he's somebody that like to say words the way they are, and then he's also a person that is goal oriented. Secondary school, he does not like